Hi, David Lee here with Gravity Golf. We're continuing our series on frequently asked questions, and I've got another good one for you. Why is the gravity swing superior? Of the 5 different techniques for powering a golf swing, the gravity swing is the only one that doesn't send energy back into the body during its execution. Therefore, when executed correctly, it doesn't create a swing path change causing the ball to go offline. In my scope of awareness, during my studies of the golf swing over the past 40-something years, I've found that there have been a number of different techniques for creating power within a golf swing. The confusing thing is that all of those techniques at one time or another have produced great players. Back in the days of the hickory shaft, when the game first started, we had to deal with a great deal of torque in the shaft, as much as 15 degrees of twist. But if you held the grip in one hand and the club head in the other, you could twist the shaft up to 15 degrees. That required the player coming into impact to flip the blade shut to keep the shaft from torquing upon impact and leaving the ball out to the right. So we call those players flippers, centrifugal flippers, where they just turn and let the hands release very rapidly to compensate for the twist in the shaft. Modern day shafts only have between about 2 and 5 degrees of torque, so we can play with much more passive hands in the modern day golf swing, or the swing that I call the gravity swing. There were great players that were flippers. Even Bobby Jones, Bruce Crampton were both flippers because they had started with hickory shafted clubs. The second way you can power the swing is the way that the great Arnold Palmer, my childhood hero, powered the swing. He's what we call a shoulder raker, where he would draw back and take his shoulders and arms, use his legs essentially as a platform for the upper body to just tear the ball off the ground, cause the body to open up coming through, and he was continually blocking the hook out of the follow-through. That didn't keep Arnold from being a great player, but my contention has always been that if Arnold had had the same kind of high-quality swing technique that you see in Jack and Trevino, Lord knows how many golf tournaments he might have won. So he had such a terrific competitive drive in his game that if his technique had been commensurate with his internal instinct to win and play, he would have done things that would have been just incredibly awesome in the game, and probably had many more major wins than he did. The third way you can power the swing is in a combination of the gravity swing and a racquetball type lash coming into impact. This is the way that Ben Hogan powered the swing. Now, Hogan had part of what we call the gravity swing, where he made a great weight shift, had fantastic footwork, moved back into his front foot, and made a great counterfall to start the delivery to release his mass. But instead of routing the club with a full potential arc size like you see in players like Jack and more modern day players that actually let the elbow fly, so to speak, which after Hogan came along and told the whole world to play from an elbow down position, the world thought that was the way you were supposed to swing the golf club. Hogan had an issue of hooking the ball badly when he first started playing, if you look into his first book called Power Golf, back before his accident, he took the club back below 3 o'clock in the backswing, had it pointed below where John Daly takes it in the backswing. He could feel it when he got the club back that far and tried to move. It caused the club to launch early. The club's not going to launch, recock, and release again. You get one chance per swing to release the club through impact. So Hogan, in an attempt to stop the overswing, put his elbow against his side. He actually made the elbow the shoulder. So if you look at his golf swing and overall arc size, it's a foot smaller in diameter than Freddie Couples. What he lost with a smaller in leverage with a smaller arc, he made up for coming into impact by lashing it with his right hand once his turn had started. That's why he said he wished he had 3 right hands when he played golf, so he could put that extra lash on it. The problem now, Tiger Woods is a combination player like a lot of modern tour players are, where they're trying to get maximum distance. They want to combine using their body mass, as we do in the gravity swing, with some level of shoulder power coming down in the delivery. I was watching the telecast of the Memorial Tournament this year, and Jack Nicklaus and Johnny Miller were talking about the golf swings of Rory McIlroy and Jason Day. And Johnny asked Jack, he said, "What do you think of the swings of these modern young players?" And Jack said, "Well, they obviously hit the golf ball a tremendous amount of distance, but they both are too violent for my taste." And I thought that was very interesting, that Jack felt like they both went at the golf ball harder than he preferred. And I totally agree. I mean, if they can keep their swing in check and keep their balance or equilibrium as they rotate, they can hit the ball a tremendous distance and keep it under control for the most part, but they're still capable of hitting some fairly wild shots on occasion. Jack does not like to see the golf swing quite at that level of violence, and I tend to agree with him. It's hard on the body, as you can see with what Tiger Woods has had to endure over the last few years. You can definitely witness the consequences of being strong in the upper body and turning that leverage back into your own system and watching as it tears your body to pieces. Every time Tiger comes down in the downswing and tries to rip it with his shoulders when he's hitting a driver, inadvertently he's trying to dismember his body, which is certainly not his intent, but that's the consequences. When you put that much leverage against your lower back or against your knees, over the period of years, you'll start to tear your system to pieces. So if you swing properly, as you do in the gravity swing, you're not sending that energy back into your system. That's why you see players like Ernie Els and Louis Oosthuizen and guys like Charles Schwartzel, people like that, move the ball strictly with their mass, as we do in a pure gravity swing, and we don't combine power sources. What you get for adding that extra muscle is not worth the wear and tear it puts on your body, or the control loss that it can potentially have on your golf ball. So from a pure physics standpoint, of the 5 techniques that I just went through, the gravity swing is the only one that does not use some level of force from the upper body in the downswing. All of the energy in a technically perfect golf swing comes from the ground up and goes out through the arms and club, and none of that energy is turned back into the body by tightening the arms in the downswing. Tightening the arms is what causes the plane to change. And if you don't compensate when you do that, your golf ball is going to go offline. So it becomes a much iffier situation if you're continually having to compensate for energy going back into you. It makes it harder to maintain balance or a state of pure rotary equilibrium as we turn our body through the impact zone. So believe me, there is an absolute ton of physics that are involved in hitting a golf ball correctly and knowing how to maintain perfect path integrity. All of our drills are designed to magnify your sensitivity to the impropriety of turning energy back into your body. So study these drills, learn to feel when power is being applied correctly. You'll sense that all of the energy is coming out of your body to the golf ball, and none of it is being internalized to cause your path integrity to be violated during the downswing. So study the drills, get out there and try them on your own. You'll be amazed at what happens to your golf swing. You'll learn how to control that path so that you find the dead center of the club face almost every time you swing a golf club. You can learn this game correctly. Believe me, all you have to do is know how to do it. So we have that information for you. Get in there and study it. You'll be amazed what happens. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks for watching today. Go to our new website, check out our videos and articles, read about our golf schools. They're the most comprehensive schools done anywhere in this country. Come down and see us, get involved in one of those, check out our social media, and great luck with your golf game. Thanks.